Hey guys, so welcome to some GAPS diet videos. Cheating on the GAPS diet. Can you do it? What do you do if you have done it? What kinds of cheats are acceptable? If you're doing the GAPS diet, you're probably very familiar with this book. You should read it. I need to read it again. The first time I skimmed it and tried to read certain parts of it, and I need to do a deep dive into it. But are you going to cheat on the GAPS diet? I don't know specifically if you will, but I did. And I have some tips for you. So if you're on the stages, stage 1 through 6, before you get to the full GAPS diet, if you really are craving something and you really want to cheat, try to cheat 1 or 2 stages up. So don't cheat by eating lots of gluten or grains and stuff like that, because it's just gonna really mess with you. That is going to make you feel horrible, at least in my personal experience. However, if I really was craving something and I really had an emotional need for food or just a little treat in the evening after a really long, hard day, I found that if I did 1 or 2 stages up, generally I might have a little bit of a upset stomach, I might have a little bit of an off day the next day, but I was able to get back on track and I didn't have to start over. So the first time I did the GAPS diet, let's see, I made it about 2 weeks into the introduction diet on stage 1 and 2. So I was on stage 2 and I just one day couldn't do it anymore. So I went out and bought a bunch of gluten-free instant meals for dinner, like instant pot stickers and soy sauce and stuff, and I ate them all. And let's just say it took me 3 days to recover. It was that bad. And after I had had this cheat meal, I went back to stage 1 because I just couldn't stay on stage 2. I tried to stay on stage 2 the next day and it just wasn't working. I had to go back to stage 1 and start all over again, and I was devastated because stage 1 is really hard. So food is emotional, at least for me, and I went through, it was one of my children, I went through a little bit of depression not being able to have my favorite foods and enjoy my favorite dishes, because on the GAPS diet, it's unlike any other diet you've ever had, right? Like on the keto diet, you can make keto chocolate chip cookies, you can make keto brownies, you can make keto versions of all your favorite food, and it satisfies you. On the paleo diet, you can make paleo versions of all of your favorite foods. If you know my story, I did the paleo diet for 4 years. I did the keto diet for 18 months. It's my kids whistling outside, they're playing outside. And on the GAPS diet, at least when you're on the introduction stages, there really is not any substitutions that you can make for the dishes that you are missing and that you are craving. You cannot make spaghetti without noodles and without tomatoes. It's not gonna be spaghetti in any way. So there is this emotional connection that we as humans have to our food, our comfort foods. And sometimes you need to eat those things in order to equalize your inner spirit. I don't really know how any other way to say it. But I know for food, I have some kind of emotional connection for food. And I went through, I don't even know what to call it, detox depression after 8 weeks on the GAPS diet. When I restarted, I made it to 8 weeks, I made it to stage 4. Just some kind of mental block, just not being able to eat my favorite foods. So when I wanted a treat, when I wanted one of my comfort foods, when I wanted one of my comfort foods, when I wanted to cheat or to have something a little special or to make myself something delicious and to have a food to look forward to, because basically you're eating soup until stage 3, and on stage 4 is when I was eating more of baked meats and roasted veggies and stuff. Sometimes you just don't want soup, and you can just feel like you don't even want to eat another bowl of soup, but you're hungry and you want to eat something. So I would cheat. I would try to do it like once a week. So I would look forward to, on Friday, I'm going to allow myself to eat X if I really need it. And then I could look forward to that, and then on Friday I could decide, no, I don't want this, or yes, I do want this, I do need this for my emotional health and well-being. And I would try to do it 1 or maybe 2 stages above where I am. And right now, like I said, I made it to stage 4, and then I switched to the full GAPS diet. I skipped stage 5 and 6 because I just couldn't do it anymore. And I'll go through that in another video. But right now I'm on the full GAPS diet, and I'm avoiding nuts still because I still can't eat nuts. And cheating will derail your healing. It will derail like your physical well-being, but sometimes it can boost your emotional well-being. Sometimes it can give you a boost out of a depression because food is emotional for many, many people, and that's okay. Now that I am on the full GAPS diet, if I do want something, if I want to cheat, I try to keep it grain-free. So I'll have a bit of sugar maybe in a baked good. I can't eat nuts. So I will sometimes have a little bit of cassava flour in something, or properly fermented wheat, because after the GAPS diet you want to move to a Weston. After the GAPS diet you want to move to a Weston A. Price diet. So sometimes I will ferment wheat for 24 hours in yogurt, and I will allow myself to have a baked good made out of that. And it doesn't mess with my gut nearly as much. Now it does derail my healing, and sometimes I'll have a little bit of my symptoms return, but sometimes that outweighs the cost. Sometimes I just need to have some pancakes in the morning. You know, I'm still making these things for my children. So that's today's video. Let me know if you have any comments about cheating on the GAPS diet.